Good morning, good morning. How are you guys? Go ahead and find the chat. Welcome, welcome. I am super excited for today. Let me adjust some lights. Good morning, good morning. Go ahead and find the chat. Or good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. Hello, Joanna, Barb, Daniela, Fiorella, Jose, Maria, Noemi, Sandra. Hello. Good morning. Where are you guys? Where in the world are you? Where are you? Peru. I've heard of this place. I've heard of Peru. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's good. It's good. I can't wait to come. I'm supposed to come back in September. I'm supposed to come back to Peru in September, but you know, we'll see. Ephrata, Barb, hello. Hey, I'm near you. I am very close. Vichaito Beach in the north of Peru. Daniela, that sounds amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Good morning, Steph. How are you? I miss you, Sandra. I miss you as well. Good morning, everybody. So we have a full body Krama Vinyasa practice today, and you see I have a cat in the background. I am on a farm in remote Pennsylvania up in the mountains, and it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Hello, Mika. Are you still in France? Are you still in France? And can everybody hear me? Let me check my audio settings. I think I need to change my microphone to this. There we go. That should be a little better. Still in France. Very nice. I'm amazing. I'm ready to move. Hello, Vanessa. Hi, how are you? I am ready to move and move my body a lot. Yeah, I trained hard yesterday and I have a little bit of like soreness, so definitely ready to move. Guys, do you have any pose requests for today? Is there any like area that you really want to work on? Pose requests. Welcome, welcome, my dears. Yes, yes. Mika, pose requests. Vanessa, Daniela, Steph, Sandra, Barb. Any areas? Good morning, Amy. Bonnie, your sister's going to be joining today too. Vanessa says, I'm sad like fuck, but ready to cheer up a little bit with you. I will be your sunshine, honey. And you're welcome to call me later today. I have a private after this, but then I'm free in the afternoon if you need to talk a bit. Jaws. Did you attend my face yoga? My face yoga. So that's a different process than regular asana. Mika, if you don't have a copy of my face yoga, send me an email and I'll send you a copy of it because that's a whole separate practice. Yeah, just send me a reminder email. I'm a little forgetful. Hips and core, I like the way you think. Sandra wants me to kill her. All right, all right. Good morning, Sarah. Gisela, hello, hello, hello. Wow, hey, Josefa, I see you. I see you. Okay, so I got hips and core, two of my favorite. So I'm planning on teaching a vigorous practice. Hello, Manuela, my love. Manuela, I'm so excited for your project. I can't wait to tell people, but I won't tell them now. We'll keep it hush hush until you're ready to announce. Manuela's up to some amazing stuff in Peru. It's pretty amazing. So hello, Ursula. All right, guys, so we're gonna start soon. Any more pose requests? Anything that you want? This is gonna be a strong practice today. Hello, Carmen. Hi, how are you? And so what that means, hips and hamstrings. Okay, we're gonna dig into your hips and hamstrings. Hamstrings, guys, you got to stretch your hamstrings a lot. And you know, with the hamstrings, a lot of times there's actually scar tissue that's built up, and that scar tissue is sitting in the muscle, which doesn't allow you to stretch it fully, nor to contract it fully. So it always kind of feels like disconnected, like you can't quite get into that area. So we use a process called cross-fiber tissue massage. If you don't know what this is, write to me. It can increase your mobility in your hamstrings very fast. I feel like I need to teach a class on cross-fiber tissue massage. All right, hamstrings. You guys have spoken. We're gonna dig into your hamstrings. We're gonna dig into your hamstrings. And you have to tell me this because my hamstrings are super flexible Why are they super flexible? Because I do the things I'm about to teach you. Yeah. So the truth with hamstrings, guys, is that you have to regularly dig in. And so I'll put in, yeah, okay, Mika, I will. I'm going to teach a class on cross fiber tissue massage. I think that would be a good one. It will be part of our upcoming sequencing immersion because that's part of the data that's needed. So so I'll teach you guys a hard hamstring sequence. Like we'll do a deep dive here, and this kind of hamstring work has to be done really regularly, or nothing's really going to change. Hello, Joanna. Hello, Joanna. Hello, everybody. All right, guys. So are we ready to move our culos? I don't know what that word means. I heard it somewhere. You have a kink in your neck that needs stretched out. All right, okay. So usually the stuff with the neck, we're going to address in the shoulders. So let me bring on my second camera. That would help. Let's do second camera. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Let's move that light out. Okay. All right, my loves. Go ahead and come on to all fours. Let's begin. I don't know what culo means. I don't know. I've never heard. I just heard that word somewhere. All right. Come on to all fours, guys. And we're going to start with our hands. So we always work with the wrists first. Turn your right hand back and spread your fingers actively. Now I want you to notice if your elbow is bent and roll the elbow in so you get this eye of the elbow shining forward. And you can actually use your own hand to turn it and then begin to move forward and back, stretching your wrists. So our wrists are pretty tiny, and in yoga they tend to get a lot of they have a lot of requirements for work, so we want to make sure to take care of them. All right, excellent. And now take your left, turn the left back, spread the fingers actively. Same thing, notice if your elbow's bent and do your best to roll it around and shine the eye of the elbow forward. Then move forward and back and spread your fingers, pressing the fingernails actively into the mat. If the first time that you get this, it will be a bit intense. But that's why you're here. All right, go ahead and release. Turn both your hands so the fingers face back and bring your pinkies together. Lean back and forth. And for those of you who've been practicing this for a while, if you want to come into a more intense version and straighten the legs into downward dog, it's totally legal. Guys, I'm going to give a lot of variations. We have a mixed level class, so you have to pick what's safe for you today. Excellent. Release. Bring both your palms to the ground. I want you to look down at your hands and slightly externally rotate. So your index finger is splitting the front of the mat. Just a slight external rotation. Turn your toes under and press back into your first downward dog of the day. Step your feet wider than your mat and take your head through. So this version, this is a hamstring opening version of downward dog. Let yourself move from the right to the left, bending one knee, bending the other, and push with your hands. Push with your hands. It's always fine in downward dog to have the knees bent. Now, with your next inhale, start to tuck your tailbone, round your back, tuck your chin, and shift forward. Bring your shoulders past your wrists and just hold. Push the ground away. Squeeze your belly. Bend your knees and press back. So we're warming up the muscles in the back. Next, we do it 2 more times. Pick up your heels. Tuck, round, shift forward. All the way forward. Squeeze your belly. Excellent, excellent. And release, press back, bend your knees. Side to side. And third time, tuck, engage your core, really tuck, round your back, tuck your chin, shift forward. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hold, hold, hold. My face turns so red when I do this. Exhale, bend your knees. Paddle your feet. Excellent, excellent. Now bring your knees down to the mat. Good. Knees down to the mat, and I want you to slide your arms forward, either bringing your forehead onto the mat or chest and chin. So reach, keep your fingers alive. Reach, say good morning, shoulders. Good morning, shoulders. Regulate your breath. And then when you're ready, shift forward, bring your elbows onto the mat. Excellent, elbows onto the mat. It's a little hot where I am, you guys can tell. Elbows onto the mat. I want you to walk your elbows so they're not out here, but they're slightly more narrow than your shoulders, and take your hands a little wide. It'll feel kind of awkward. Then Tuck your tailbone and lift your hips up just a little bit. Now, for those of you who've been in practice a lot, I've been training this. It's a very particular engagement of the lower abdominals, and it's not easy. I'm not coming up high like this. It's low. Stay low. How low can you go? And then traction forward. Hold the position, guys. It's not easy. Excellent. Then lower your hips down and just rock a little bit from side to side. Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't think it's evening anywhere yet. All right. Tuck, second time, and lift. Engage your core. Warming up the body. So this particular core strengthening move helps to protect your lower back if you have lower back pain, and to teach you how to engage the lower belly, which is super important in a lot of poses. And release, side to side. Side to side. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Third time. Tuck, lift, and traction forward. Hint of a smile. Excellent. Lower your belly down. Bring your hands low on your waist and point your toes. Hug your elbows together and see how high my shoulders are to start. Press down, leading with the back of the neck, and go ahead and rise up into Cobra Upward Dog. And let yourself shift a little bit from side to side. Just play with the position. Now, to go back to all fours, I want you to contract your lower belly and move very, very slow. Excellent. Anahatasana, again, extend your arms out. Either bring your forehead to the mat or chest and chin. Keep your fingers alive. Keep reaching with your arms, pressing the arms straight. Regulate your breath. Hint of a smile. Excellent. Tuck. Good. Coming onto all fours. Turn your toes under. Now, this is a little bit of a new move I've been having fun with. Not too hard. So bring your knees together, turn your toes under, and just lift your knees up and hold. Engage your core. So we're not coming up very high. Just engage your core and hold. Knees are off the ground. Hold. Press the ground away. And release. Arch your back. Look up. With your next exhale, engage your core. Tuck, 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 and just pick your knees up and hold. You can over round the back. This rounding of the back actually is something you need to train. You can also come to neutral spine. Hold your knees off the ground. Excellent. Release. Now arch your back. Look up. Awesome. One more time. So engage your core. Over contract the belly and lift up. And you can see you can really round it, which you want to be able to do. Or you can come to neutral spine, but the knees are off the ground. Whew. And go ahead and straighten your legs, pressing back into downward dog. Excellent, my loves. Let's dive in. Take your right leg and extend it up towards the sky. All the way up. Then find your left heel and begin lifting it up and down. Up and down. Up and down. As high up as you can get it. Extend. And your right leg should be pressing totally straight. Your right hip can come up or be in a box stance, in a squared hip stance. It's up to you. Good. Now I want you to take your right foot. Lift your right hand into finger stance, and then take your right foot and touch your wrist. And take it all the way back up. 2 more times. Take your right foot and touch your wrist. It's not necessarily easy. And all the way back up. 3rd time, just do your best. Get it as far up as you can. You can bend the right knee. Right foot comes forward, touch the wrist. I'll go ahead and place that right foot down on the ground. Bend your knee. Let me adjust my camera. Whew. Okay, good. So come into this low lunge position. Squeeze your left leg straight. I love this pose. This pose gives you a lot of opportunity to correct your position. So see your left leg. Notice if the knee is bent. Squeeze it straight. Press with your arms and engage your belly. I'm out of breath, you guys. I want you to be breathing because I can't. I got to talk. So you breathe for me. Do a good job. And then lower your left knee down. Excellent. So from this position, begin to straighten the leg, shift back, and bend. Sink. 1. We're going to do this 5 times. Straighten the leg. 2. Excellent. Straighten the leg. 3. Keep your foot active. Straighten the leg. 4. Now you can always use blocks here. Arm extenders are not a problem. And 5. Straighten. And shift all the way forward. Sink your hips. Sink your hips. So if you have tight hips, use blocks underneath your arms. This is what I call arm extenders. Use blocks underneath your arms. It's not a problem. If your hips are feeling more open, you want to go lower. Elbows can come down. You find your ideal position. Excellent. You find your ideal position. Now here, I do place my right elbow in the arch of the foot, and your toes are totally active. See? Active. Keep your feet alive. Good. Few more breaths. Saying good morning to those hips. The truth is, if you want to change your body, you got to spend more time than you normally do. Excellent. Good. Straighten your arms. Now we're going to make a transition. You may want to have your blocks handy. So I begin to lift up. I'm going to slide my right foot down my mat and step the left one forward. Now both feet are on the outside edge with the toes facing forward. I recommend blocks underneath your arms because you're looking to have your spine in an arch, which means you have to come up high enough to find that. So take a moment and look for it. Once you found the position, we're going to play with it a little bit. I want you to begin shifting your hips to one side and then the other. Keep your toes extremely active and lifting. Lifting your toes off the mat, shifting from side to side. Side to side. Excellent. And then come back to neutral. And if you're using blocks or your hands are on the mat, you're going to walk your hands out in front and extend the line. You can also use a chair for this. Extend your line of your arms and drop your head through. Regulate your breath. Keep your feet active, but try to melt everything else. So you keep your feet active and then your lower belly draws in and up. Everything else is expanding, reaching. Few more breaths here. Excellent. Now, bend your right knee, connect it to your rib cage, set your blocks off to the side. We're going to do a fun transition here. So my knee is bent, finger stands on the mat, then I shift my weight so I'm on the right leg, and I bring my left foot, the top of the foot, all the way over by this right one. Now I'm going to use my left foot like a brake and lower down and sit behind the left foot. Excellent. So my left foot is tucked under, right one is bent. And Sandra dear, here is your core. Take your hands behind you, lift your chest up, extend your right leg out. Now it can be whatever height, but I want it to be straight. Lift your chest. Another option is to bring the arms forward. This makes it a little harder. Get this leg totally straight. Excellent. And begin to lower it up and down. Up and down. Keep it straight. It's not how high you go, but don't go fast. If you go fast, you're using a different muscle, and that's not the one we're training. Slow and steady. We're doing about 10. Slow and steady. Excellent. Take it up, grab your knee, pull it into your chest, and grab the outside edge of your foot. Lengthen your chest up, sit up, keeping that connection between your femur bone and your chest. Open your foot, spread your toes, and play around with straightening the leg. Now, if you lock your knee and you round your back, that's not the pose. Keep it bent and keep that upright position. Open the foot. Find where your practice is today. Keep opening your toes and pressing with the ball of the foot. Notice why. Yeah, if you collapse and you let the leg go dead, you have one sensation. If you keep that foot active, it's another sensation. So you decide which one works for you. Keep the rib cage and the femur bone touching. Regulate your breath. Excellent. Now release the leg. Go ahead and float your right foot so it crosses the left knee. So you see that your heel is on the other side of the left knee. And then allow that right knee to drop down. This is your first position. This is box pose, and you can put a block under the knee. You should have no sensation in the right knee, but you should have strong sensation in the outside of your right thigh. If you do not, bring your left foot forward so that your shins are stacked. And I want you guys to notice, I'll turn to the side a little bit. My heels are on the other side of my femur bones. Okay, so this is one version of box pose. Now, if you don't feel anything yet, you can begin to fold forward, maybe eventually bringing your elbows around the front knee, and then see I'm going to push with my elbows and arch my back. So you decide which version it is. You should feel the sensation in the outside of your right thigh, possibly the inner groin as well, not in the knee or the lower back. So take time to modify and find where your practice is today. Please don't break your body. Regulate your breath. Now this is a very useful pose. It's one of the TV asanas or iPad asanas. It's a good pose to kind of sit if you're just like deciding to be passive and watch some TV, because you have to stay here a little bit longer to get a big change. So stay in the pose. So we're still on the right side, guys. We haven't gotten to the left side. What we're doing is known as a Krama, or an intelligent sequence. And we're changing our multidimensional space a little bit. So we're going from standing to seating to seated. Excellent. A few more breaths here, wherever your variation is. Excellent. Then I want you to lift up, sit back, and unwind your legs. So release the right one forward and tuck that left one back underneath. Okay. So we're going to work on a transition forward, and I want you to try to do this with no hands, although it may or may not work. Okay. So transition forward. I pick up both feet. Left one is tucked under. You can bring your hands to prayer and just try. You're going to shift forward. I push with the top of my foot, and I come into this lunge, and then go back, return. So we're going to do that 5 times. Pick a foot up, use a little bit of momentum, come up, and go back. If there's any sensation of pain in your left knee, skip this. Pick up the foot, a little bit of momentum. This is number 3. And go back, pick up the foot, push with your bottom foot. The left foot is pushing. This is 4. Excellent. Pick up the foot, and 5, all the way up. Bring your hands down, rotate the left foot back into alignment, extend the leg back, and here we are, back in our starting position. Well done. So now let's transition back. First, pick up your right heel. Hug the right knee, and a little pro tip, see how I sink down? I actually get underneath the knee, so see if you can do that. And then pick up the foot, step it back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment and notice how your right side feels. Then with your next inhale, shift forward to the top of your push-up and hold. Take your right hand to the center of your mat and turn into Vashisthasana. Extend your left arm up. You can step your left foot forward, or you can play around with lifting your left foot up into the air. You decide. Get strong. Keep trying to pick your hips up. And with your next exhale, lower your right hip down to the ground and stack your legs on top of each other. Excellent. Now, you may want to walk your right hand forward a little bit, but don't bend the elbow. Keep the right arm straight. Next, your left hand in front of you. Use finger stands, not this position where you put that part of the hand on the ground. It creates tension in the shoulder. And then shift your hips forward so your left hip is on top of the right, and squeeze your legs together a little bit. Excellent. Find your lower belly, draw it in and up. And if this pose is intense for you, walk the hand forward more. It'll make it a little easier. There isn't a wrong position. You can go as forward as you want. So you decide. And then once you're in the pose, I'm going to show one more variation. You can take your left foot on top and catch the ankle a little bit and push with the left foot so you're stretching the right leg. It'll give a little bit more release on the outside of the hip. And then feel free to play with it. You don't have to be static in this pose. You can rock a little bit. And I love this pose because I feel like it gets into a part at the top of my hip and my side body that nothing else quite has the same magic. So we're still on the right side. I'm going to make the whole right side of your body long. Excellent. Now bend your knees and bring your right elbow down to the ground. Notice that my palm faces down, so I have pushing force and I can push the shoulder up. Step your left foot forward and make sure it's planted firmly on the mat. Pick your hips up. Pick your left arm up. Pick your right leg up. Pick it up. Try. Try to pick it up. Pick up the right leg. Try. Keep trying. You got this. Excellent. Then lower your hip down and roll onto your belly. You should be off a little bit to the left side of your mat. Good. From that position, take your right arm into a 90-degree angle. And I want you to check this center of the shoulder joint, center of the elbow joint in one line. Take your left hand with the fingers facing away from you. Take this camera back a little bit. There we go. Fingers facing away from you. And roll onto your right side. Bend your knees up. Now you can relax your head here. And you can always put something underneath the head. It depends on the size of your shoulders. Then find your left hand and begin to push. So notice that this left shoulder can be in different positions. It can stack on top of my right shoulder, or it can be here. I recommend trying to stack it. So you're pushing with the left, and it's opening on the right side. Now regulate your breath. And as you regulate your breath, I want you to manually control your breath, increasing the volume of air in the lower lungs, and then directing that air up into the area, the top of the right lung. So feel as if you're expanding on the inside. There's some lung pressure points here that it's really nice to activate. Excellent. Go ahead and straighten your legs and rolling back onto your belly. Bring yourself to the center of your mat. And then walk your hands out in front of you like this in finger stands. And then walk them in a little bit so you have some space underneath your armpits. And then take your right arm underneath and your left one on top. Once you have this position, find your fingers and walk your elbows apart as much as you can. Then turn your toes under and scoot your body forward. So the heaviest part of your chest is resting to push your elbows apart more. Now, you can drop your head wherever you like. It's hard for me to talk that way. God forbid I would be quiet for a second. So I'm going to hold my head up, but you do what you want. Next, begin to increase the intensity of your inhale. So you're inhaling a little more air with the effort of taking the volume of that air into the back body in between your shoulder blades. So you're trying to stretch yourself on the inside. Hint of a smile. Excellent. Now leave your right arm exactly where it is, and you can release the left, and then roll all the way around onto your back. Now, take your right hand with the palm facing down and place it underneath your rib cage. Then begin to roll onto your right side and reach for your left elbow. Now this is an intense pose. If you haven't been practicing it a lot, be gentle. You don't have to go to the full extreme of it. Be gentle. Be gentle. And I recommend you add more shoulder asanas to your regular practice because they have a big effect. Excellent. Slowly unwind. Rolling onto your back, take your right arm over your head. So you have this open right side of your body. And roll all the way back onto your belly. Take your hands off to the side. Fingers face away, wider than your mat. Wide position. Tuck your tailbone. Lift up. 1. And down, push your elbows forward. 2, keep your core strong. 3, head up. We're going to 10. 4, let your shoulder blades move. 5, let them come all the way together, all the way apart. 6, 7, 8, hand of a smile. 9, excellent. And 10. Beautiful. Belly comes all the way down. Bring your hands to the bottom of your rib cage. So see that 90-degree angle. Point your toes and inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, contract your belly, coming onto all fours. Extend your arms out in front of you, either forehead on the mat or chest and chin. Excellent. Then go ahead and tuck. Slowly rising up, walk your hands in, turn your toes under and press back into downward facing dog. I want you to notice if you feel a difference from the right side of your body to the left. Just notice, is there any change? Just notice. Okay, so that was the right side. You'll feel the right side will feel a bit more spacious, more blood flow. Let's do the left. So first, extend your left leg all the way up towards the sky, and then find your heel and begin lifting it up and down off the mat. Up and down off the mat. That's it. Keep pressing your left leg straight, and the left hip can lift up. Now we have this fun move. You're going to lift into finger stands on the left side to give yourself a little more space, and then take your left foot and bring it all the way down and touch your left wrist as best you can and take it back up. 1, 2, shift forward. You can bend your knee here if it's easier, it's not a problem. Excellent, and 3, all the way forward. And then place your left hand down. And from there, slide the right foot back. So you're coming into this nice long lunge position. Take a moment here. Make sure your stance is super long and you're pushing with the back heel. Engage your core. Hug your left knee in. Keep your left toes active. Activate your back. Feel strong, feel strong, feel strong. And then lower your right knee down to the ground. Now we're going to move with this a little bit, just to warm up that left hip. So you shift back, straighten the left leg, and of course you can use finger stands here or blocks. Shift forward, shift back. This is 2. Excellent. Keep spreading your toes. Even as we move, try to reclaim as much control and space as you can. 3. Excellent. 4. Good morning, left leg. How are you? And last cycle. 5, all the way back. Then shift forward. So now we're coming into this low lunge. Now guys, if you're on your kneecap, I recommend you pick up the knee, take it back and traction yourself forward, just so you're trying to get above the kneecap. If you're able to, it might not happen today, but just have that in your mind. Another option is to pad your knee. So feel free to use blocks or any props that you need to lift your hips up to be comfortable in this pose, because it can be a bit uncomfortable. So this magic in yoga really happens in our discomfort zone. Bring your elbows down. Yeah. Take your elbow, if you would like, if your elbows are down, into your left arch and just hang out here. Just hang out here. Now my left toes are totally alive and active. I'm lifting the arch. And feel free to move a little bit, but keep all 4 corners of your foot grounded. I am sweating like crazy. It's good. I can't wait to practice with you guys in person. Can't wait, if it ever happens again. All right, so now we're going to transition to our next pose. Take your hands down to the mat, begin to pick up your hips, slide your left foot back so it's on the outside edge of your mat, and step the right one forward so it's also on the outside edge of your mat. Both of your, both your Feet are facing forward. Neither foot is turned out. It's totally forward facing. And then feel free to use blocks because you want to get an arch in your back. The tendency will be to have the spine rounded. So if your spine is rounded, it means you need to bring your hands up higher. Because right here, when you start to get that arch is when you really get into the hamstring line. Excellent. Then I want you to begin to shift from right to left and just feel into your hips. Keep your feet active. Side to side. Feet active, lower belly active. Arms are straight, guys. Don't bend your elbows. Side to side. Excellent. Then walk your hands out, whether they're on the blocks or on the mat. So now we're adding a back bend of the shoulder joint. Come into the pose and just sink, drop your heart through. Regulate your breath, making the inhale and the exhale long, smooth, serene, applying manual breathing. Excellent. Now I want you to bend your left knee and set your blocks off to the side. So when you bend your left knee, bend it enough that you start to make contact with the rib cage and the femur bone. So now I'm going to start to shift my weight into the left side. And I draw my right foot across, bringing the top of the foot onto the mat and sit back behind it. Excellent. So take a moment. Position your right foot underneath the left hamstring. Then pick up we have our core pose first. Take your hands behind you, extend your left leg up. Now the important thing here is you get this leg straight. Doesn't matter if it's high or low. Get the leg straight because there you have pushing force. Excellent. And we're going to go up and down approximately 10 times. That's 1. To make it harder, take your arms forward. 2. Relax the face, don't hurry. 3. Try to make the movement slow and steady. 4. Excellent. 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. You guys got this. And 10 all the way up. And then float that left foot down. And so our first position, and guys, you can always sit on the block here too, if it's really tight. We have very different levels. So first, make sure that your left heel passes the thigh bone on the right leg. Now, if you're not feeling anything, we're going to move to the next position. If this is really intense, feel free to put something underneath the left knee. Next position, I bring my shins so they're parallel. And I want you to make sure your heels pass the thigh bone. I repeat this every time because it's really important. If it's not, if you're like this, you're taking the intensity of the pose into the ankle joint and the knee, and we don't want that. So here's your next position. Now, if this is not intense enough for you, the next one is to come forward and bring your elbows in front of the shins. And then you can pull a little bit, bringing your elbows into the shins and trying to arch your back. So we're taking a more active variation here. Regulate your breath, arch your back, into the smile. This particular pose, if you have a goal in your physical practice of being able to do lotus pose, you have to practice this pose. So lotus pose requires flexibility. This pose, box pose, creates it. Keep pulling yourself forward, a nice little arch in the back, and regulate your breath. And trying to make your breath even, serene, graceful. A few more cycles of breath. Okay, we're going to slowly rise up and unwind the pose. You lean back, pick your legs up, place your left foot in front and take your right one. And you want to bring it back underneath because we're going to work on this transition. Now, if you have knee pain, if you have any reason to skip this, please feel free. Yeah, you shouldn't have sensation in the right knee because you want to push with the top of the right foot. And that might be a little bit of a new thing. So just be conscious and do your best to push. So the tendency will be to try to pull yourself forward with the left foot, but I want you to push yourself forward with the right and see if you catch what I mean. So bring your hands together in prayer and lift up, push, and rise. 1, transition back. So I break it here. I should slow down by pushing with that right foot. 2, and I make sure it's okay on your knee. You can always skip this. You can just sit there and watch and be like, look at that silly teacher doing her weird things. It's all optional. 4, excellent. And 5, all the way up. And bring your hands to the mat. Rotate your right foot into alignment. Press back and extend, extending that right leg back. And here we are in the starting position, your runner's lunge. And just hang out here for a second. And we're going to work on this transition. So I think pretty much everyone can do this if you try. Pick up your left heel. See that you can hug that left knee in. Now, pro tip, you can bend that left elbow and try to get the knee even higher on the shoulder. Then pick up the foot and step back. Paddle your feet. Here we are in beautiful downward dog. Take a moment to notice how your legs feel. This is just the warm up. We haven't got to your hamstring sequence yet. Inhale, and you're going to shift forward, coming to the top of your push-up. Then bring your left hand to the center of the mat and shift, stacking your hips. Reach your right arm up. You can step your right foot forward if you would like. Keep trying to pick your hips up. Now you can look down towards the horizon or up. They're all correct. Depends on which one feels the most useful to you. And slowly lowering your left hip down towards the ground. Okay, so you can take a moment here to reposition your body. And mostly you're going to want to walk that left hand a little bit more forward and begin stacking your legs. Now, if you look at the center of your wrist joint, that's where your hips should be. So you might need to adjust the position a little bit. Then squeeze your legs straight. So the legs are a little bit active. They're squeezing together. And this left shoulder, it's totally lazy. So you're not pushing with the left arm. You're just sloppy there. This is more of a thaw pose. So squeeze the thighs together. Begin to shift your right hip forward, looking for your sweet spot. Then pick your right foot up if you would like, and you can catch the arch around the ankle of the left foot. And using your right leg, push so you get a little bit more of a stretch in the top of your left hip. Regulate the breath. Create some space where there was tension and congestion. And feel free to move and play with it. Find where you need this pose, which can change from day to day. Excellent. Then bend your knees and lower down, bringing your left elbow onto the ground. And make sure you have a good strong base that you can push down with the hand and activate this shoulder. Then step your right foot forward, making sure the right foot is flat on the mat. Push into the ground, lift your hips up. Right arm comes up, pick your left leg up. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. The first time you try to do this, it's not going to be easy, but that's okay. Try. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Engage, activate your inner thigh. Excellent. Then lower down, roll onto your belly. Take your left elbow out into a 90-degree angle. Your right hand, the fingers face away from you. and roll onto your left side body. Now find your right hand and see that you can push with the right hand and begin to stack your right shoulder on top of the left. So it can either be here or here. Take control of that. So you're pushing with the right hand, and then work on directing your breath into that left inside line where the lungs and the pecs are. Manual breathing, guys. Take control of your respiration. Excellent. Release, roll back to center, bring your body to the center of your mat, and go ahead and walk your arms out in front into finger stands. And then walk your hands in, so you're creating a little bit of space underneath the armpits, and take your left one underneath your right, and your right on top. And then start to walk the hands apart, separating the elbows more. Turn your toes under and scoot your body forward. So the heaviest part of your body is pushing apart the elbows. Now you can drop your head here. You can drop your head here. And with this one, I want you to increase the volume of your breathing so that you're inhaling a little bit more, as if you're trying to push apart the shoulder blades. So you inhale first into the lower belly, and then a little bit more into the upper back, seeing that you can create another kind of stretch on the inside. Excellent. Pick up your head, find your right arm, unwind it, leave your left one there, and roll all the way onto your back. Now, once you roll onto your back, take your left hand, place it underneath your rib cage, and then begin to roll onto your left side. And you start to reach with your right hand towards your left elbow. And be gentle here. This is an internal rotation of the left shoulder joint. If you don't do this regularly, it can be super, super intense. And we want to open this particular direction of mobility slowly. So we're not taking the majority of the weight into the left shoulder joint, but actually starting to release the adhesions that are around your left shoulder blade. There's a lot of adhesions there from what I see in the general population. The shoulder blades are oftentimes really frozen. Frozen into place, and this pose can help release them, but you got to do it more, guys. You'll all receive a copy of this class, so you can practice again and again and again until it opens. Excellent. And slowly release, roll onto your back. Take your left arm all the way over your head, and then roll around all the way onto your belly. Take your arms off your mat. Your fingers face away. I want you to see that you have like a lot you can do with these shoulders. Push your elbows forward, tuck your tailbone, lift. Now let your shoulder blades really move. So here, my shoulder blades are all the way out. As I lower down, I artificially squeeze them together. So I'm getting more mobility in the back body. 2, you can do these straight legged if you want it to be harder. 3, we're going to 10, guys. Excellent. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, get strong, 9, and 10. All the way down. Bring your hands to the bottom of your waist. Make this 90-degree angle. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck your chin. Press and rise up. Let yourself shift from side to side. Let your up dog get a little sloppy so you can play with it, shifting from side to side. And then when you're ready, contract your lower belly. Guess what, guys? Anahatasana, either forehead on the mat or chest and chin. Reach. And slowly rising up. And that finishes our warming up sequence. That was one sequence on each side. Turn your toes under and press back to downward dog. Welcome to Krama Vinyasa. Welcome to Krama Vinyasa. All right, guys, let's get serious now. We're gonna work on those hamstrings. I want you to step your feet wider than your mat. Bend your knees and rotate your feet out. So this is a pose that's in between a goddess squat and a prayer squat, okay? So look at your feet, they're turned slightly out. Now I want you to roll the weight to the outside edge of your feet, and my hands walk forward, so I'm kind of sitting back and I'm using this traction on the mat. Try to have your sits bones at the height of your shoulders. Roll the weight to the outside edge of your feet. This will push your knees wider. Move with it. I know this pose is intense. That's the purpose, guys. Sit back. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Rotate your feet now forward. Begin to straighten the legs, but don't straighten them the whole way. Drop your head through. Excellent. Now shift your weight forward. Your knees can be bent. I want you to find your blocks if you have them, and I do recommend you use blocks for this. I'm going to adjust my cameras a little bit, and I want you guys to step your feet into the center of your mat. Bring your big toes together and your heels apart. I'm going to show you a serious hamstring opening sequence. Okay. I think that's good on that. Okay, good. All right, start with your toes touching. Hands are ideally on blocks or a chair. Then I want you to pick up your left leg and take it behind you. Okay, so now your left leg is behind you. See that you can cross the left leg behind the right. Excellent. Now bend your left knee. Bring it in behind the right knee so it's behind it. Squat down, pick up your toes. Straighten, extend your left leg back. That's one. Bend, take your left knee behind the right, crosses behind it, keep your toes lifting, and extend, that's two. Head up, arms straight. Three, left knee comes behind. Bend, keep your toes lifting, guys, active feet, and extend, press back. Four, knee comes behind, squat down. Enjoy it, toes up, arches lifting, head up, arms straight, extend. Bend, knee comes behind, your femur bones cross here. Now my left knee is on the other side of the right. Extend, take it back. Excellent. Bend, we're going to about 10. I think this is number 6. Extend, take it all the way back. Really push. So as I come into this position, I'm pushing with the hands, pushing with the foot. Don't hurry, guys. If you hurry your practice, we won't get good results. Lower down. And I have another pose after this one. It's not going to run out. The time runs out, not the poses. Press and extend. Good. Bend. Extend. I think we got 1 or 2 more. Let's do 2. Bend. Toes up. Head up, belly active, extend. Last one, bend, and extend. Now take your left foot, bring it in front of the right, cross it, and separate your feet. So create a lot of space between your feet. One is definitely in front of the other, and there's space. And then when you're ready, walk your hands out in front, drop your head through. You regulate your breath, keep your feet active. Excellent. Release. Step both your feet parallel and just take a forward fold. I want you to notice if you feel a difference from the right side to the left side just after 10 repetitions. Notice how your hamstring feels. Sarah, how's it feel?
Okay.
Do you feel a difference from right to left?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, my little sister's here practicing with me and she says, wow, it's really open. So multiple repetitions of this practice will change your hamstring existence. Start with your toes touching. So bring your big toes together. Notice that I create this 90-degree angle. My hands directly underneath the shoulders. Now, take your left leg behind you. Oh wait, sorry, other side. Right leg behind you. Excellent. And cross it so it's scissoring together. Lift up. Good. Now bend slowly, taking your right knee behind the left. Lift your arches and your toes. And extend slowly. Keep your head up and your arms straight. 1. Be very active. Let yourself work here. 2. Do the work now. When we're together. Extend. 3. Bend. And extend. Really extend. Push. Come into the full expression of the pose. We're not hurrying. 4. My lower belly is active here. Extend. Excellent. 5. Extend. Anyone working therapeutically can always have your clients with their hands on a chair or a table. They can come up as high as needed in the torso. Extend. Excellent. 6. Take it in behind. Take your time. Toes lifting, arch lifting. Extend. Bend. Extend. Good. Enjoy the change. Press and extend, push, push. I think we got like 3 more. Extend. And last one, bend, take it behind. And extend. Awesome. Now bring your right in front of the left and separate your feet here. So one is definitely in front of the other and there's some space between the two. Walk your arms out in front of you and drop your head through. Release. Keep your toes lifting, arches lifting. Excellent. Release. Step your feet next to each other, hip distance apart, and take a forward fold. And just notice how your hamstrings feel. Take a little inventory. And then when you're ready, place your palms on the mat and step back into downward facing dog. And notice how you feel. With your next inhale, shift forward, coming to the top of your push-up. Pick up your fingertips, engage your core, sink your hips, head up, bend your elbows, point your toes, inhale, upward facing. Exhale, rising onto all fours. And extend your arms out in front of you with forehead on the mat or chest and chin. Excellent. Tuck. Rising onto all fours. You're going to transition to seated. I like to cross my ankles and sit back, but you can use a different way just depending on how that feels on your knees. Extend your feet out in front of you. All right, how are you guys doing? Body's still attached, I hope. Let's work a bit more on your hamstrings. So take your feet in front of you and bring your big toes together, and then fold your right leg so that the arch of your right foot is around the calf muscle on the left side. Excellent. Next, take your hands behind you and begin to push, lift your chest up. And then find your left foot and start to spread the toes so you feel as if you're pressing against an invisible wall. Now, if you happen to be close to a wall, it's really nice to put this ball of the foot on the wall and push. Then press and extend, bringing your belly towards the thigh. It's not about, so this position takes the weight into your lower back. If you round the back, which is fine with me, it just won't make you more flexible in the hamstring. If you want to make yourself more flexible in the hamstring, arch your back. And now we're working on that particular muscle. Again, it's not that there are wrong poses in yoga, it's just you have to look at what the actual effect is and decide if that's what you want. Now, if you're really far forward and you want to come forward and grab either the heel or the ball of the foot, and I'll show other, so I know we have a mixed level class, you can also put blocks in front of the left leg and reach and grab, and then you push. So let's get this a little more on camera. And then you'll push with the ball of the foot. So you're creating an artificial wall. So these are all variations. You pick, and we're going to hang out here for 10 breaths. You pick, but I want you active. So if you're here and you're holding blocks, I'm pulling with my arms and pushing with the foot. If your arms are behind you, you're pushing. So you have a lot of forces going on here. Excellent. Regulate your breath. You have about 8 more. Do the work. This is very active. Open your foot. The more you open your toes, the more you're going to open that hamstring. Regulate the breath. And then when you're ready, slowly rising up. From this position, scoop your right knee up and place your right foot so it's on the ground, the distance of your calf muscle. Take your hands behind you. Begin to push with your right foot into the ground. Bring your left onto the ground. Lift up. Take the back bend. Excellent. Slowly lowering down. Switch sides. Extend your right foot forward. Let your left arch of the foot curve around the right calf muscle. Check your hips to make sure you have a nice forward facing stance. So both hips are evenly placed in space. That's why we use this variation. It's a little easier. And then wherever you are, you're going to take your hands behind you. So if you're at greater than 90 degrees, you're still pushing with the hands and lifting the chest. You're still engaging the foot. No matter where you are on the spectrum of the forward fold, you're actively engaged. So find where your practice is, and notice that as I go down, I don't at any point round my back. That's a different practice. We're working in the muscle, not the fascia today. Yeah, so no rounding of the back. You pick your version. Now, if you get far enough forward and you actually grab the heel or the foot, you're going to be pushing with the foot and pulling with the arms. If you're far enough forward, you use 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. It's the same thing. I'm going to push with the ball of the foot. Push with the ball of the foot. So it's active, and I'm pulling with my arms. So I'm actively going deeper into the pose. You decide. Wherever you are, we're going to now spend 10 breaths and stay active the whole time. Notice if that's challenging for you, and overcome the challenge with your willpower. Be willing. Regulate your breath. When you're ready, slowly rising up. Ah, delicious. Pick up your left knee. Point your right toes. Now the goal here is to try to get your right toes to touch the mat. So point them. Take your hands behind, fingers face forward. Pick your hips up. Push up. Excellent. Slowly lowering down. Extend both your legs out in front of you. And then bend them and come forward on your mat. Take your hands behind you with the fingers facing forward. Bend your elbows and start to walk your hands back. This is a forward fold of your shoulder joint. Fingers face forward, round your back and begin to push with your feet. Push with your feet. Tuck your chin. Excellent. Now, pick up your head. See if you can walk your hands even just a little further back. Hug your elbows together. Yeah, I know it's intense, guys. I know it's intense. You need to come practice more yoga with me. We'll get rid of that monkey on your back. Good. Push your right shoulder forward. Look over the left. Push your left shoulder forward. Look over the right. Right shoulder forward. Look over the left. Left pushes forward. Look over the right. Now begin to move side to side at your own pace. It's like an inner massage of the rotator cuff, and you can always walk your hands back, making it a little more intense. No problem with that. Excellent. Now I want you to push with your hands again and push with your feet. Round your back. Stretch the back body. Excellent. Go ahead and straighten, stretching your fingers, and rise up. Ah, magic hands. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And bring your feet together. Extend them out in front of you. So this is known as diamond pose. And let's see, go ahead and grab your knees. I think the knee position is the best for this. We're going to do a little Spinal Crias here. So with your exhale, holding onto your knees, lean back and push your feet together. Stretch the fascia on the back body. Now with your inhale, bring your elbows in, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round, 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 lean back. Inhale, arch, 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 look up. One more time, exhale, round, round, round. And inhale, arch. Awesome. Now, I want you to lean back, take your right hand behind you, walk it back, walk it back. Extend your left one forward with the thumb facing down and make contact with your right leg somewhere. And just push, lean back. See how I bend my elbow? So your back might adjust here. It's a funky twist. Bend your elbow, push with your left, lean back, lift up. Switch sides. Now your left goes behind you, walk it back, nice and far back. So you're leaning back, right extends forward with the thumb down, make contact, bend your left elbow, push with your right, lean back. Excellent. And rise up. Good. So now, bringing your hands down your legs, grab either your ankles or your knees, or you can take your hands to the side and begin to lengthen your chest up as you fold forward. We're still doing active practice. So wherever you're holding, either your hands are pushing you forward or pulling you, your choice. Active, keep your head up. It's a strong practice today. It's a lot of ha poses. If any of you like this, if you're a yoga teacher, you're just curious about sequencing, we do have a sequencing immersion that starts next Wednesday. It's not just for teachers. It's 50 hours. You can do 25 or the whole 50, and it will change your life. And slowly rising up. As you can see, sequencing can be super fun. All right, so this is one of my favorite little practices. I want you to lean back onto your elbows. Okay, lean back onto your elbows and walk your elbows so they're a little more narrow. Yeah, so they're not wide, they're a little more narrow. Take both your legs up towards the sky. Good. Press them nice and straight.
And just to warm up a little bit, lower your legs halfway down and hold. Just squeeze your belly, not your face. Now, if your neck gets tired here at any point, feel free to release it back. Hold, press your legs straight. Excellent, then bring it in. Bend, shake it out. Awesome, right leg up. Now place your left one on the thigh. Good, come all the way in as far as you can. Keep your right leg straight. And then lower down, hover off the ground and hold. Hold. Hold, you can drop your head back at any point and pick it up. 1. Lower down. 2. All the way up, squeeze it in. 3. Don't get lazy, guys. You'll be in Savasana soon. 4. Keep your right leg totally straight, like you're pushing against the wall. Excellent. 5. 6. 7. 8. Doing great. 9. That's pretty fine. 10. You get to do it again on the other side, all the way up. Ah, release, shake it out. Good. Rest your feet down in between sides. Drop your head back, shake it out. Release any tension in the shoulders and neck. Ah, okay. Both legs come up towards the sky. Place your right one on the femur bone. Squeeze it in. Straighten your left leg as close as you can. And then lower down. Hover off the ground. 1. All the way up. Keep your left leg straight, guys. 2. Excellent. 3. Lower down. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All the way down. And all the way up. Amazing. Release, shake it out. Good job, guys.
So now we're going to move into our finishing series, and you have some options here, so you decide what you prefer. You have option of bridge pose, full wheel, or hip opener. So you decide if you're on your cycle, ladies. No bridge, no full wheel. Or if you just don't feel like doing bridge or full wheel, you can take hip openers. So go ahead and lay down on your back. All the way down your back. So if you're doing hip openers, I recommend this reclining pigeon or figure 4. So you decide. You're taking hip openers, you're going to stay in that. If you're doing bridge, you lift your hips up. And then you can release your hands behind your back, pressing up. And then if you're doing full wheel, you take your hands alongside your ears and lift up. Now, whichever you're doing, spend some time here. So if you're doing full wheel, I invite you to take 3 repetitions. Take a break in between. The same thing with bridge pose. Take 3 repetitions. Yeah, you guys are nice and warmed up, so it's a good time. If you practice full wheel, because I'm not giving full instruction on how to do it if you don't know how to do it. If you already have a full wheel in your practice, then go for it. If not, bridge or hip openers, your choice. And slowly lowering down, side to side. And I am happy to do a workshop on back bending if it's something people want to learn. And last round, if you're doing full wheel.
Excellent. So next option, you can either take your legs up like this. So this is just draining the legs. You're just holding them in the air. If you would like, we also have the option of shoulder stand or Viparita Karani. So Viparita Karani is like this, with your hands under your hips, and your feet are above your eyes. So they're not here, you actually have to have them up high. If you're doing full shoulder stand, then you walk your hands down your back and take the legs up. You pick. When you're finished, you have the option of plow pose. You choose. Spend a few more moments in your shoulder stand, Viparita Karani, or legs up and plow pose. A little bit of yogi free time. And then when you're finished, Savasana or fish pose and Savasana depending. Finishing of your practice, whichever it is, and making your way to final resting pose. You guys did amazing today. Did amazing, amazing, amazing today. Finishing up your practice and then making your way towards your final resting pose. Okay, so making your way towards Savasana. Now I recommend that you cover your body either with a blanket or a towel or something handy, just so you don't have any sensation, especially if you're somewhere where it's a little bit chilly. I also recommend that you cover your eyes so that you're not getting a bunch of light kind of re-stimulating the movement of the mind. Now before you let go into Savasana, do a body scan. Scan your body 3 times. And just notice, is anything uncomfortable? Do I need to adjust anything? Because once we begin to drop the body, you don't want to be called back to need to adjust anything. So do your body scan. And then once you have finished your body scan, begin to bring your attention to the center of your brain, the very center. I want you to imagine that in the center of your brain, there is a universe of stars expanding. A universe of stars expanding. Unsqueezing that universe of stars. So feel that there's a universe of stars and they're expanding in the center of your head. Just really get this reality. See that universe of stars. And then just allow it to expand into the space in the center of your head. And as this expands, relax the inner ears, your nose, your eyes. Really get this quality of expanding, expanding, expanding. And this quality of light bodies expanding within you. And then allow this expansion of the stars in the center of your brain, which is like a universe or a galaxy expanding. Allow this to move into your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. An expansion. It's feeling that this starlight begins to overtake the entirety of your body, expanding into your chest, belly, and hips. And allow this expansion to move down into your legs,
knees, ankles, and arches, expanding all the way. Feel that the entirety of your physical body was now in the center of an expanding star universe. And then feel that that expanding universe begins to move beyond your body. Feel that you become like this universe, an expanding space of stars. Just allow this to continue. Almost as if there's a dissolution of the density of the physical body. As you become more like space and starlight and less like a heavy matter. Just feeling this expansion. As if you were becoming a cosmic symphony of stars expanding. And slowly feeling your presence begin to return to control of the body. Although you may keep that sensation of expansion, if you would like. And with your return to control of the body, lengthening the inhale and spreading fingers and toes. And then when you're ready, drawing your arms over your head, your knees into your chest. And then I usually recommend that you just rock up into a seated position. Although you can roll from one side to the other, it's nice to be able to just come up so that we don't disturb that stillness. And we can rest our palms and sit. Rest your palms and sit, lengthening your spine, lean back. And for a few cycles of breath, become absolutely still, not adjusting, not touching your hair. Just become still for no reason, because you decide. And with your next inhale, reaching your arms over your head, an invitation of clarity into the life. And with the exhale, bringing your hands in front of your heart, gesture of sharing with all sentient beings. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining today. Namaste. Namaste. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? This was super fun. Love you, Joanna, as well. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, everybody. We have a training that starts this week, so if you guys want to learn more, yeah, now's a good time. Thank you so much, Manuela, Steph, Anna, Nikki, Fiorella, Bonnie, Lara, Sandra, Naomi. I love you guys. So you're going to get a copy of this sometime in the next little bit when I upload it and send it out. You are free to share this with anybody. This is public, so you can send it to your friends. Any meditation and pranayama courses coming up? Yes, after we finish the teacher training in September, the fall, I'm going to be focusing on a lot more meditation, pranayama, and the yoga of beauty. Yeah, which is not just like how to do your hair, which is actually how to create this aesthetic frequency. So super interesting stuff. Yeah, you can email Lara for any questions that you have. And I love you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, also write to me. And you'll get a copy of this. Feel free to share it with everybody. Thank you, my dears. Check the website for cool stuff, and we will be in touch. info@unitedyoga.pe. Lots of love, Mika, Maria. Besos a todos. You got mixed up with the time. I post it in 3 different time zones. I don't know how to be more clear with the time. 10:30 is always the Eastern Standard is first, Lima time is second, European time is third. So you have to know what time zone you're in. Yeah, I know. So, but you'll get a recording, so you'll have a chance to practice again. I love you guys. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can, guys. We're across time zones, so you have to read the text. Thank you so much. Yep, read the text. I love you, Josiane. I'm sorry you missed part of the class. Bye, my dears.